It is Saturday in the NFL, and I'm my favorite two player props and spread pick coming your guys' way. It is the beginning of Week 18, the final week of the regular season. We got two games on today. The Chiefs, 11-point favorites, traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. And then the second game, the Cowboys, 4.5-point favorites, traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Like I said, my favorite two player props and spread pick coming your guys' way. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Now, over the past 3 weeks, we've been on an absolute fire run. We were 10-4 in Week 15. 10-2 in Week 16, and then 5-2 last week in Week 17. So as a whole, 25-8 over the past 3 weeks. I couldn't ask for a better end to the NFL regular season. We're still going to keep pumping out picks for the playoffs, of course. Consider clicking that subscribe button down below if you are new. We're less than 1,000 subscribers away from 20,000, and we appreciate all the new people joining the community. We can't do it without every single one of you. If you also want to click that like button, it only takes a second. We would really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow even more and more. Now let's talk about Week 18. Now, of course, we have this video. This is our normal video. Well, normally we have one for Thursday Night Football, but we have Saturday Night Football, so we won't complain. Now, we'll have our usual parlays and player props video, which will be live for the all of Sunday slate. We'll be live at Saturday at like 8:30 at night, so go check out that video. That video has only had one losing week in the last 9 weeks. The one losing week, we went 2-2, so not too shabby. I believe it's 27-9 overall the past 9 weeks in player props, so been pretty good on a pretty good run. That video, like I said, live Saturday night. That's for all of Week 18. Now, let's talk about Week 18. Because it's a tricky one, because you have several teams packing it up. They put everything in the suitcase. They're just going there, going to the game, collecting their paycheck, just playing for a little bit of pride, and that's about it. The team's eliminated from the playoffs. Then you got some teams, on the other hand, that are still fighting for the playoffs. Not a lot of teams, more so not a lot as many as normal, but still some teams fighting for some playoff seeding. And then you just got teams that may be trying to move up the seedings. Then there's teams that are in limbo, like the Eagles and the Cowboys we'll talk about later. Both teams don't have a lot to play for, don't gain a ton with the win this week. They already clinched their playoff spot. So can't really see much in seeding. This Week 18 is a weird one, so be cautious with your bets today. And my last note, welcome to sports betting, New York bettors out there. I know New York just legalized mobile sports betting. I believe it goes Saturday live at 9 a.m. So if you are new to the Call in Our Shot community from New York, we appreciate you guys joining out, coming out to the videos. If you want to use any of my Sportsbook sign-up bonuses for FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM, you name it, first link in the description gives you a bunch of different risk-free bonuses, deposit matches, you name it. All right, let's waste no more time. Let's get into my favorite player prop of the day. We're going to start in the early game for the Chiefs versus the Broncos. We're going with Patrick Mahomes, and we're taking this under 270.5 passing yards, minus 115 on PointsBet. Now, PointsBet was with the best line at 270.5. Every other book's between 270.5 and like 265.5. So don't mind it either way. But there's a couple different ways Mahomes can go under. Number one, this could be an absolute blowout. He doesn't play the second half or the fourth quarter. Number two, could be the same lines. The Chiefs just decide, you know what, they get up early and they're like, we don't really want to risk Patrick Mahomes getting injured. We don't want to do that. We've already, more or less locked up the 2 seed. If they do win and the the Titans lose on Sunday to the Texans, then they'll move up into the number 1 seed. But they don't really see that happen. And they didn't want to take care of business, obviously. And so they could rest him. And also, number 3, the Denver Broncos, they really could not do much. They're being led by Drew Lock. That Broncos offense has been struggling. We could see Mahomes just get a bunch of short fields, or we could see some defensive touchdowns as well. All of these will negatively impact the passing yards for Mahomes. Now let's talk about Mahomes as a day. 270.5 passing yards, still asking for a lot. Mahomes has gone over in his last 8 games, gone over just twice, gone under 6 times, and one of the games he went under was against a team in the Denver Broncos. Now, it is no secret, Mahomes has a great track record against the Broncos team. In fact, it's no secret, he's never lost in his career starting against the Broncos, but that doesn't necessarily translate to a ton of yards. Over his last 3 games versus them, he's had 184, 318, and 200 passing yards. This is a Broncos offense that I don't anticipate putting up a ton of points today. Maybe they do, but still, Chiefs would love to put him away early. And the Broncos defense, I just don't see folding over and just laying down and saying, all right, Patrick Mahomes, have a day. I just don't see that happening. You look at the last 5 quarterbacks that face the Broncos, here have been their passing yards numbers. Justin Herbert last week, 237. Derek Carr, 201. Joe Burrow, 157. Jared Goff, 215. And Patrick Mahomes, 184. If you want to stretch it over the last 10 quarterbacks, only 1 quarterback has gone over. Would have been Justin Herbert's first time against the Broncos defense. Now, the Broncos defense will be without Pat Surtain. They're starting a star rookie cornerback and Ronald Darby. I'm not too concerned about both those guys not playing. Maybe they'll play a little bit deeper coverage. They're known for their star state. They're pretty good safety play and pretty good secondary. So maybe they play a little bit back more than they usually do. Let the Chiefs run up and down the field if they really want to. Complete short passes left and right. So All I ask is for the Andy Reid, get up 3 touchdowns and then bench Patrick Mahomes. I'm all in. Now let's move on to the Eagles versus Cowboys, and we're taking Patrick Mahomes under 270.5 passing yards. Just hope he doesn't have a killer day. He's not going for 5,000. He's too many yards away for that. So, I mean, at least I think so. I think he needs like 500, 400 something yards. So we're moving on to the second game, and then we'll go back to this one for another player prop. Now we're talking about the Eagles versus Cowboys. I'm going to ride with Logan's pick on the podcast. If you aren't listening to the podcast, it is live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. His upset pick was the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm riding with him. But I'm taking the 4.5 points minus 115. Now, +4 is perfectly fine. I think they get this win outright. But like I said, both these two teams don't really have a lot to play for, and they got a ton of injuries. So here we go. Let's list them. You can put me on 1.5 times speed. Cowboys will be without Tyron Smith, Tony Pollard, Michael Gallup, Blake Jarwin, Micah Parsons, Jaron Kearse, Trayvon Diggs, Anthony Brown, probably some other guys that I'm not even listing. Now the Eagles, they said, that's not enough. Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Jordan Howard, Dallas Goedert, Nate Herbig, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Rodney McLeod, Alex Singletary, Avonte Maddox, probably some other guys that I'm missing. You can see. Half of these guys I don't necessarily know or watch too much. Some bunch of the guys on the defensive side, but still, a lot of teams, they are missing a lot of players. And so this game could be a little bit sketchy. It's a bare bones squad versus a bare bones squad in the blizzard, in the cold. I know Philadelphia just got several inches of snow on Friday. So either way, we look at it, the Cowboys have covered way too well this season. They are 12-4 against the spread, top of the leagues, tied with the Packers. And then you look at them, you look at the most recently, Vegas does not like teams finishing that well against the spread. No team has finished with a better against the spread record, assuming if the Cowboys cover this week than the 2016 New England Patriots. You look at Vegas, they make a living making all the lines and every team covering around 50 to 50, maybe going one up, one down. And Vegas does not like to see the Cowboys at 12-4. They're putting in the fix. Now you can be saying, now there goes a couple people clicking the dislike button, and that's fine. But the same thing happened last season versus the Rockets. You look at the Rockets, they were one of the worst teams we've ever seen against the spread. The final 2 weeks of the season, they became an against the spread covering magnet. Almost seemed fixed when they would go on 12-0 runs at the end of the game just to cover on the back door. Now we look at it, I picked against the Cowboys last week. Boom, Cardinals. That was my upset pick, and they cashed outright. And I'm going to do the exact same thing here. I think the Eagles have a good chance of winning this outright. If you want to bench Jalen Hurts, go for it. I have faith in Minshew Mania, and I just don't know if the Cowboys got a lot to play for. I know at least Philadelphia has the home crowd to play for. You know how that Philadelphia Eagles crowd gets when the team plays pretty poorly. They want to get at least some positive momentum going into the playoffs. I think they're going to do that just today. Now, the Odds Shark, their projections, has the Eagles winning this game outright by 12 points. I love the projections being on our side, and I like this pick, and I'll ride with it. Now, let's move on to my last play of the day. As some cars are going super fast outside, but that won't stop us. We're going to my final player prop, and it can't be in the Eagles-Cowboys game because they don't have any lines for us, given the injuries. Noah Fant over 17.5 yards for his longest reception, +110 on Caesars. Now, love getting plus money for a play that I really don't think should be plus money. And so Noah Fant, he hurt us a couple weeks ago when we took his over in receiving yards. I believe it was 39.5. Best I could do was 30, but what did he hit? He was like our only player prop that didn't cash that week. But what he did cash was his receptions over, and his reception long over, which he had a 20-yard reception in that game, and he's cashed in 4 straight games with a 35, 20, 28, and 32-yard completions or receptions. Now, in addition to that, we already talked about Mahomes, talked about the Chiefs. They're 11-point favorites, and they want to get up big on this team, I would assume. Broncos, big underdogs. They could be throwing a lot more than people anticipate today. Also, on our side, the Chiefs in the NFL are 26th in terms of yards allowed per passing attempt. So what is that, like 7th worst in the league? And that at 7 yards per attempt. That number goes even up higher at 7.6 yards per attempt. So they've also allowed the 4th most 20-yard completions, or the 4th most 40-yard completions. They're near the top 10 in 20-plus yard completions, and they haven't necessarily fared too well against tight ends. Now, in Fant's last 4 career games versus the Kansas City Chiefs, his long receptions have been 43, 24, 37, and 12. The 12 was a little bit disappointing. That was back in December 5th when the Broncos' offense really struggled, put up just 9 points. They're at home today. I think they score a little bit more. You look at Drew Lock, he's got nothing else to, he might as well throw it as crazy as much as he wants to. Plus, you look at Noah Fant playing against, on the other side of the field, he sees Travis Kelce. He wants to put on a good show for that star tight end over there. And all it takes is one catch. It can come at the beginning of the game, come at the end of the game, come somewhere in the middle. Doesn't matter to us. We're just counting on his over 17.5 yards for his longest reception, +110 value. Put Daniel Sorensen on him for all I care. I could see the Chiefs resting some guys in the second half to just, if they're up big, they don't want to get any injuries. I could see that happening and no fan could cash towards the end of the game. Either way, I'm fine with it. Good luck on all three of those plays. That is what we were riding with. Noah Fant over 17.5 yards longest reception. We're riding with the Eagles plus 4.5 and Patrick Mahomes under 270.5 passing yards. Those are the three plays. Hopefully we can bring out the brooms. That'd be pretty cool to get a good start to week 18. Parlays and player props live later tonight, Saturday night. Go check out that. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. Click that like button too. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the parlays and player prop video later on tonight or Saturday night. And then I'll see you in the normal NBA videos. Let's go have a great day in the NBA. Have a great Saturday, everyone. Let's have a great weekend making some money. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.